Hello students. In our previous video, we had an introduction to syllabus. So what is the syllabus? We have seen that what are the 5 units which we have to study. Today we will have introduction to the subject. Means why is it necessary for me to study this subject? What is the importance of this subject? Why this subject is business law. So first of all, we would like to know what is the importance of law. So why laws are necessary? So in our day-to-day life, we see that we have to follow certain rules, regulations and laws. So why is it necessary? Why laws have been made for us? So first thing is, it is said that man is a social animal. Now what does it mean by man is a social animal? Man is a social animal means we live in a society and we stay in a society, we interact or we deal with other human beings. While dealing or while staying in a society, we have to adopt certain code of conduct. We cannot behave however we want, but there are certain rules, regulations which have been laid down by society or which have been laid down by government, and we have to follow those rules and regulations. So whenever we are interdependent on each other, other human beings, and we have dealings with other human beings, and due to this interdependence and dealings, there may be some problems. So there may be some confrontations or some problems may arise between due to these dealings and interdependence. So to avoid these dealings, there are certain rules, principles, and codes of conduct which we have to follow whenever we are acting or we are dealing with other human beings. For that purpose, laws have come into existence. Our behavior of human beings is regulated by law. Now, what does it mean by law? So, as for Oxford Dictionary, law means rule. Rule made by whom? Rule made by authority. So in India, the authority who makes the law is legislature or judiciary has an authority to make the laws. So law means the rule which is made by authority. For what? What is the purpose of making the laws? So laws are made for proper regulation of society or community and for correct conduct of life. So law sees that there should be regulation of the society and there should be correct conduct of life. So law, what is the intention or what is the purpose of law? So law intends to smoothen the activities and to avoid dispute among people. So law sees that the activities or dealings which human beings will have with each other, those activities should be smoothened. Smooth activities should be carried on and there should be no disputes among them. For that purpose laws are made, and if there will be any disputes, any confrontations, difference of opinion will arise, those disputes should be solved as per the law, as per certain rules, and each and every person should get justice. For that is the intention of law. Then law sees that there should be social welfare. If there will be disputes will not be resolved, disputes or problems which arise between human beings, and those will not be solved, we will not feel safe and secured in the society. Law sees that those disputes, those problems should be solved and there should be social welfare in the society. There is no discrimination with respect to applicability of law. Laws are applicable to each and every person irrespective of his religion, race, place of birth, status, etc. So intention of law is to see that the activities between the human beings should be smoothly carried out. Their disputes should be avoided as far as possible. If disputes will be there, those should be solved through a proper authority, proper government agency, that is judiciary, that is court system, and to see that there should be social welfare in the society and there is no discrimination with applicability of laws. Law is applicable to each and every human being, same laws applicable. Then it is said that knowledge of law is a must. Why knowledge of law is a must? Why we should have the knowledge of law? It is said that everyone, we are bound by rules and regulations. Rules and regulations are applicable to us. And ignorance of law is no excuse. We cannot say that we are unaware of a particular law, so we should be excused for not following that law. We cannot say like that. Say for example, when you are riding a two-wheeler and you have not worn a helmet, and police catches you, traffic police catches you, and he imposes fine on you. Can you say that is it a law that a person should who is riding a two-wheeler, he should wear a helmet? I am unaware of that law, I am ignorant of that law, and please excuse me. No, you cannot please plead your ignorance as an excuse for not performing or for not following the rules, laws, etc. It is expected that the person who is carrying on a particular activity, he knows the laws relating to that activity. You are driving a vehicle, and police catches you and asks you a license. Can you say that is it necessary that a person who drives a vehicle, he should have a license? I am unaware of that, I'm ignorant of that law, and excuse me. No, ignorance of law is no excuse. So it is expected that you should have the knowledge of those things or those activities which you are carrying on. It is not. Is it possible to have the knowledge of all the laws? No, it is not at all possible to have the knowledge of each and every law. But it is for our benefit to know at least basics and essentials of law relating to our activities. Therefore, it is necessary for every commerce student to have the knowledge of business laws. So, what are the laws relating to business? How business transactions are carried out, how contracts come into existence, what are the rights and duties of the parties to the contract. All these things it is very necessary for a commerce student to know. Therefore, this subject is we have to study this subject. Now, business law. What is business? Business means giving, taking. That means it is exchanging. Exchanging of what? Exchanging of goods and services for cash. So it is this exchange takes place between businessmen and customers. So goods and services are exchanged between businessmen and customers. Both the parties will have contractual rights and duties towards each other. So in a contract, there will be two parties, and both the parties will have certain rights and duties towards each other. And these rights and duties are created because of a contract which they have entered into. What is a contract? So every day we enter into contract. Have you ever entered into contract or agreement with anyone? Yes. So knowingly or unknowingly, every day we enter into contract or agreement. Say for example, when we buy newspaper, there is a contract between us and newspaper vendor. We do not pay every day 5 rupees for the newspaper. No. So for whole month he provides newspaper to us. He provides the services to us, and at the end of the month we pay the bill or we pay the money for uh, providing newspaper to him. So there is a contract between us and newspaper vendor. So it is his duty to provide, to give newspaper to us. It is our duty to pay him. So both will have certain rights and duties towards each other. So after performing his duty, after providing newspaper to us for full month, at the end it is his right to get the bill paid. It is his right. What is our right? Our right is to get the newspaper for whole month. So both the parties will have certain rights and duties towards each other. Again, there is a contract when we engage auto or taxi. So there is a implied contract between us and the taxi driver. So what is the duty of the taxi driver? Taxi driver's duty is to drop that person to the destination. And what is the duty of the person? After the person driver drops you to the destination, the person has to pay the remuneration, pay for the services provided by the driver. So both the parties will have certain duties towards each other. So these are some contracts which we enter into our day-to-day lives. In case of these everyday contract, if loss is suffered due to breach of contract, the amount of loss or the loss will be very small scale loss. Now, what is breach of contract? Breach of contract means breaking of the terms of contract by either of the parties. Now, in case of one person, I have engaged a taxi, and my duty, What is my right? My right is that he will drop me to the destination. The driver's rights are, after dropping me to the destination, it is his right to get the remuneration. Now, when he has dropped me to his that destination, now I am not ready to pay for him. Now, here I have committed the breach of contract. My duty is to pay him after he drops me to the destination. Now I am not ready to pay. That means I have committed breach of contract. I am not ready to perform my duty under the contract. He will suffer a loss. In such contracts, the loss which is suffered is a very meager amount of loss will be suffered. But in case of business, if breach is committed, the amount of loss will be huge, because thousands, lakhs, and crores of rupees of people will be involved in business transactions, huge contracts, and therefore Contract Act has been passed to protect the interest of parties. Contract Act mentions what is a valid contract, how the valid contract should be created, then what are the different types of contract, what are the remedies for breach of contract if either of the parties is not ready to perform his or her part of contract, what are the remedies for the person or party who has suffered a loss because of breach committed by the other party. Then, when contract between the parties will come to an end, what are the situations, circumstances in which this contract will come to an end? All these things we will study in this subject, business law. Thank you very much.